Hi, it's Sonia and welcome back to my art YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do a video which is fairly focused, and it's going to be on my favourite art materials, and this week it's going to be on pens, pencils and crayons. And then at the end I'm also going to do my kind of like least favourite materials at the moment, or the ones I want to like use up and decide what to do with. So yeah, let's go. Pens, crayons and pencils. So I've gone through all my supplies, which has been a good exercise to be aware of what I've got. I've tried to look through all my drawers. So yeah, so let's, when I was thinking about this and sort of, as it were, planning this video, I just wanted to, when I think about materials, I just wanted quickly to think about some of the things that I consider when I'm deciding for my favourites, because I assume these sort of videos maybe for you are making you think about what your favourite materials are at the moment. I'm always interested, let me know. And for me, I guess some of the criteria when I was thinking about this, I mean, number one is like pleasure, enjoyment, tactility, like how they make me feel, like the feeling. If you're doing stuff with your hands, I think sensation comes into it, maybe for some of us, sort of the sensory area of it. Cost, environmental, I think things now maybe I am considering. I'm having to consider more what can I do with choosing in the future materials. Ease, clear up for me, and also I like to keep them in different places as well in the house, like some in the kitchen, some here. I'm a bit, some smells can really be unappealing, or you know, too much dust, space, like do some of us have limited space? And then I was sort of thinking after this, something to consider as well, for me, why I was really happy to do this as a topic, is then thinking about in the future, if I use up my supplies, what would I like to try for gifts, etc. in the future? So we can come back to that. But first of all, this is and I was asked this question a while ago, and I keep putting it off because they feel it's really hard to decide what my favourite materials were. And I did the gouache video, but yeah, now I have concentrated and focused on pens, crayons and pencils. And I thought as we go along, like I can try and show some examples if I have the right sketchbooks around, why I like them. But I thought also to sort of swatch, as it were, to show you, I guess, the contrast materials. I could use my abstract sketchbook just to play around with them. I'm a bit lazy. I have done swatching, but I'm a bit lazy about swatching supplies, to be honest with you. It's too, I just jump into things, and it feels, maybe if I had loads of time, I would gently swatch. But anyway, let's get on. Pencils. So number one, okay, coloured pencils. This is super important to me because I think when I was younger, and I've even found in my, just to try and show you the contrast, when I was in childhood, I guess that's one of the first materials we use because it's non-toxic. You have it in your school, easy to have at home. And I got, you know, like we all do, I had really cheap, to start with, these sort of like, I've got some Crayola ones here that I had, yeah, as I say, these are, I've got rid of it. Now this one doesn't look too bad on this paper. Sometimes it depends on the paper. Let's get some good quality. I don't know if I'm going to be able to maybe these crayons aren't that bad. But I definitely had even cheaper, like I think they were WH. Okay, this is a Blick pencil, yellow-green. They're not awful, but I can just feel that you have to push harder. You don't get as, they don't blend, or, I mean, yeah, this is not, I don't enjoy this too much. So when I was very young, I had a super set, the cheap pencils, and I'd, you know, try and be colouring in, and it would be quite hard work. It's quite hard work with cheaper pencils on your hand, the pressure you're putting. So that's something I should have put on the list, actually. Like, you know, if we've got different health or you can, I think, with certain materials, if they're quite hard work, you can sort of put strain on muscles, and so I think we just have to be considerate of where we are in terms of our like sort of physicality and health concerns as well with art materials, to be honest with you. So yeah, these are the not great pencils. This is about my favourite pencils. Now on to my favourite. So I love, when did I discover Prismacolor? I don't know, but whenever I did, it totally changed my view. So this is Prismacolor. I mean, I can just, it's, a lot of the time it's about feel as well, I think, as an artist. It's just so much, these are so creamy and saturated. I mean, they are fairly, I think they are quite expensive. Sometimes you can get them on offer. I always try and get this stuff on offer. So, and you can see how I keep my pencils. I've just put them all, they were in a nice set. I did get a big set a while ago. The kids love them as well. I mean, you know, the kids I think can tell the difference, because they don't want to use the cheap ones now. They want the Prismacolor. And you can layer them. I love using them. So hopefully you can just see, this is terrible. Like, I'm never going to be able to make one of those cool swatching videos, am I? It's too... I quite like layering the different colours next to each other. If I had to go through, I haven't got the patience at the moment to go through things one by one and discuss all the colour names. But for example, this one is light cerulean blue. It's a great colour. It's just, I just want to convince myself again, because at first I was like, oh, that Crayola's not, the Crayola one's not too bad actually. Sorry Blick, I just don't love, those are the cheap ones. So there is, I think, I didn't realise the difference with artist quality versus, you know, cheap colour pencils, and it has, and I know I haven't even tried, like, obviously I see online and, you know, art halls and stuff, people have, and other artists have the, was it Karen Dash, the Luminance pencils, and as I know there's like polychromos, but yeah, if I ever, you know, I might, if I see them offer and I get more into, maybe I'll try them in the future. Let me know if they are of really something that, you know, you enjoy as well. So that's coloured pencils. Oh, and sorry, I should carry on with favourites. Oh, the other thing that I can't, like, I love are these, and I know I've mentioned them before when I did the travel. I love to take them travelling as well, because you can just take, sometimes I just use these. So these are no magic pencils, and they have, you know, like they're rainbow coloured. You've got all the different, so you don't know what you're going to get as you're drawing. So you have no control. Well, I mean, you can sort of control which colour's coming up. But I love it, like that uncontrollability. What are you going to get when you shade something in? And again, these seem really good quality. Like they've got a nice saturation. You don't have to press too hard. They're brilliant. So I love these. And then on my list, I've also put down, thirdly, where are they? My Inktense pencils. No, these pencils, yes. So I have got, look, this is a super set, and I think I got this as a birthday or Christmas. This was to myself. I think I ordered them, and I did get them on offer. I'm so bad. Like, my husband was like, oh, do you want me to get you some Neo colour too for your birthday? I was like, well, it's not on offer at the moment. Can we just wait on that? But so I always do try and keep an eye out. But so these are Inktense. And so the great thing about these are I'm not going to get into all the technical stuff. There's loads of videos, artists out there who are super clued up on constituents of pencils and light fastness. I'm sharing with you because I think there's a certain joy of thinking about thinking about your own materials. What do you have at home? What's your favourite stuff? And what do you need to use up? So yeah, for me, these are a favourite. I like to keep these ones in the house, in terms of like in the kitchen or somewhere like in the sitting room. Was it Helen Wells? I'm sure I saw one of her videos, and she was saying she uses them by the sofa in the evenings, like when because you know, you can draw when your loved ones or your family are watching telly, because they're not messy, you know. I can't, and I agree, I like having these, yeah, you can just, because they're really Inktense, they're really intense. I feel like the pigment's intense, but then watch this. For example, you can have inside, have a brush, or when you go travelling, and then and then it comes into paint, and this is ink. It's like an inky paint that won't then, the difference is, I guess, compared to say watercolor pencils or even, you know, color 2, is this won't then, once it's dry, reactivate. And I quite like that. That's actually quite a cool thing for, I guess, urban, if I haven't done a lot of urban sketching recently, but if when the weather improves, maybe like urban sketching or plein air sketching, that might be just a fun medium. But yeah, I'll try a few more, because I mean, yeah, they're just, I mean, look at that colour. I'll show you, I'm going to show you later if you bear with me, some of the supplies I have that I don't love. And I've got some watercolour pencils, and it's a different, I should probably try and compare it next to these. But I'm going to try and make this into an abstract page as well, so it doesn't have to be a swatched page. Okay, so those are my 3 top coloured pencils. But then there's obviously, I do understand, you can find cheaper alternatives nowadays. Like, you don't have to go Crayola or children's pencils, because there are on the market like cheaper, you know, for example on Amazon. I've got so I saw these and they was a really good price, and I actually got these for the kids to keep inside, because I was like, do you really, instead of like my Prismacolor? But then they tried them out and they're not bad. I don't mind them, but my middle son said he can tell the difference, and they're not as maybe, so you'll probably be able to tell me some like oil sort of based pencils or wax or something, but he could tell the difference. They weren't as blendable, and my little one, when he doesn't seem to be doing much art at the moment, when he is into art, he really likes, he's been watching tutorials, and he's really great at sort of blending them. I mean, he can take colour pencils to a whole level that I don't think I've ever been able to. But these are, I've got to be honest with you, if you need, Prismacolors go up in price or out of your price range, and you can get some, it's worth checking out the reviews, check online and get a sort of a decent set that aren't cheap, but aren't like artist quality. They're sort of that, sort of for artists, but are cheaper. I don't know if I explained this very well, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, and then, so that's my sort of cheap. I haven't tried a lot else, because obviously I'm trying now at the stage where I want to use some of the stuff I've got before I get other stuff, apart from replacing essentials. Okay, let's go on to graphite. Graphite, and I can show you a good book to show you some of my examples of using these materials, because this is just really for, I try and keep this, there's a bit of paint, but generally it's for dry materials, for pen, primarily for pencils, maybe a bit of pen. But I wanted to talk about, in terms of graphite pencils, I have also got, did I bring the tin out? Probably, maybe if we did art at school, like got these pencil tins where you get the full range, you get a range of hard, going from H up to like a soft pencil. So say, what does this one go up to? I might have some missing, 8B, maybe even 9B, added a different pencil in. And yeah, I used to, when I was, I think, A-levels, I used to really love these sets and probably use quite a few of them. But do you know what, I'm going to be honest, by myself this last year, and in terms of my ultimate favourites, I think all I need, because everybody's different, this is my favourite list, and might not be yours. I'm trying to find, like, for example, we got these like HB pencil. So all I need is, to be honest, for my work, HB, 2B and an 8B, and I'm happy. And out of all of those, I probably, if only I was allowed one pencil, I tend to go soft. I like an 8. I know everyone sort of says a 2B, but like, I like an 8B. That's me. And yeah, so just to show. So yeah, I feel, and the HB, I don't even really care about it being an artist pencil. As I said, in Switzerland, like, there was a supermarket, Migros, and because the kids were at school, like, I went and just bought a set of HBs, and maybe it's because it's Swiss, so it's great quality, but it's like, this is perfectly adequate. And then here you've got the 2B, this is a Tombow, and then my 8B. I just like an 8. Oh, it's just, they're so smudgy and I make such a mess. But I just love the feel of a softer pencil. And I just wanted to show this. This one's running out as well, but these Derwent water, oh, water soluble. This was a good one, water soluble 2B. That's great as well. And then I also wrote in my list, did I write? Yeah, mechanical. Where's my mechanical? I like the refillable, have I got one on my desk? Yeah, a mechanical pencil used to be, I used to like to sketch, because you can do really, for portraits and really sort of more realistic work. Yeah, I used to love, still love if I've got one handy. So showing some of, hopefully demonstrating some of this within actual pictures, I can show you, this book is nearly finished actually. But for example, yeah, this one here is super smudgy and that's like an 8B pencil. In fact, I'm actually thinking about putting some paper down because I think it is going to get really smudgy. I feel it's a lot, you can be a lot quicker and get a lot more spontaneous. This one, what did I do this in? I should have written down. It was from a photo of the Thames near Richmond, and I think I have used, I've used these two, probably these ones in Prismacolor. And that's me. I don't often do totally coloured pencil pictures. If I use colour pencils, it's either in the context of mixed media, or I like to use them now. I'm really into using them for just drawing figures. Oh, I've done. But that's not to say I won't change my mind. Like, I'm open to, just because I work one way, or this is showing kind of like, this is from May last year. So yeah, you can see I have done with some coloured pencil. But in general, I like to use them for drawing sketches like this, and also in mixed media on top of gouache. The Prismacolor works beautifully on top of gouache, and even in sort of abstract sketchbooks now. So yeah, here that's Prismacolor, I think, or even the Sue colour pencils, and then I just added paint. But this one I love, and this is 8B. I'm sure this is an 8B. I just did it. I love, yeah. When I came back to the sketchbook, I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't need, if something happened and you just need a pencil sometimes, don't you? But then if I do too much graphite, I get a bit bored and I just want a little bit of colour. So I love being able to add. Yeah, I will do, once this is finished, a sketchbook tour. But this has been a fun sketch. Now on to pens. I put dip pens here because I did really like, there's something that I liked that when I have used them, and I want to experiment more with, because I do have some ink, and I think that comes under, does it come under drawing? I mean, sometimes I use inks, a pot of ink now, almost with a brush and like paint, but yeah. So that's a reminder to myself to explore dip pens. In terms of pens, I used to use them an awful lot, like micron pens, when I first got back into art, and it was weird. I sort of changed up my style now. I don't know where to put this. Because I used to, so I've got my pot of pens. So these are like micron, and this is a, and then I've got a finer one that I use. I bought some of these Japanese ones because they were cheaper, and I'm not sure it seemed much different. I used to like draw with them, and then I'd paint with the gouache inside the lines, and that was quite a labour intensive way of sketching, because you didn't really, sometimes the gouache would cover up the black, and I don't know why I did that. But yes, I used to use them an awful lot, so I've got a lot of spares, so it's a reminder for myself to use them up. I still like them for sketching when we're away, urban sketching sometimes. These ones I've spoken about before, and actually I forgot to put my brush pen down, is my top favourite, but I have discussed that brush pen, That's my #1 favourite pen. Have I got it here, or is it? I haven't written this one down. Because it's refillable, so you can buy cartridges. And yeah, I've discussed this before though, so I won't talk about it now. And I've also, I think, mentioned this one when I did my travel supplies. This is like a brush pen. So I want to make sure I use those up as well, because I think I bought extra. Hold on, what's this? Fountain. Question. Do I like it for drawing? That's a question to myself. So this is the thing with art hauls, when you follow like artists who you love the work of. I got inspired to buy these, and I've got a couple of them because you can get different nib sizes, Lamy Safari pens, because I saw artists using them, and when I was at school, I'm like, it's going to sound really square and nerdy, but like, I used to love handwriting with fountain pens and trying to make it neat. And yeah, this isn't working. I use this lot for writing. So I'm super glad I've got back into fountain pens, and you know, you can refill them, and there's even converter, so you could be even more environmentally friendly with them, because you can get these converter cartridges, so you can use a big bottle of ink and then refill from that. So they're great. They're a great fountain pen, but I'm going to be I need to think for myself. I don't use them so much for drawing. I don't know why. So that's something for me to explore, because I really love them. They're a favourite pen for writing, like when I'm writing notes or journaling. But yeah, let me know. Is it because I'm left-handed sometimes, I wonder? I don't know why. I need to have a practice. And then let's go on to markers. Markers have been coming increasingly into my work in this sketchbook. Where did I put them? Because I had to bring them in because the kids had them. Because the kids, typical. So the kids I got some of these, I think I'd seen, inspired by other artists years ago when I was in, I can't remember what I was watching, like into drawing every day, like Tombow markers. Oh my gosh, they're so cool. But they're they're not the cheapest. And obviously you've got the two-sided, and I think you can blend them with water. Or there's a blender brush. But they are lovely. And again, my middle side really like them. So you can sometimes get them on offer as well. They're great. And they do actually work quite well in mixed media landscape sketches. But what I've recently been getting into is my kids have a whole load of markers that I feel they're not really using so much now. And I then discovered that actually the super tip markers that I think I bought one of them 100 of for Christmas, I mean, they're great. They're fantastic. I think they're fine for, and also you can give them back to school for recycling sometimes. But these are a great marker pen for I don't use them so much for like drawing and sketching, I have to be honest. I probably could, and I have to say, when I've tried in terms of like still life sketches or sketches, I've seen artists who do beautiful drawings with them, but they've never kind of worked for me. I've always been a bit dissatisfied with them. I think I'd rather go to pencils and go to my draw with my, with graphite or with pens, if I'm going to do that kind of, all these pencils. But where they come into their own is in this abstract sketchbook. I mean, this is a marker page. Just like having fun with shapes. And I actually like that it's a coloured pen. It's like you see kids' drawings, that's the fact that you don't get the smoothness, as it were. I think is that why people like maybe Copic and alcohol markers? Because you... So the middle son's sort of saved up or got for his birthday some, because he's really into, this is going to leak through, isn't it? So we don't have many Copic. He got a small set and it's run out. But they're refillable, and I understand that like some people love alcohol markers. I don't love the smell, and I'm just not gonna go there yet. I'll never say never. Oh, and the other thing I really love, which is everyone has, are like highlighter pens. I mean, I love neon. It just cheers up a page. I always find these are really good if I've done a heavy a pencil sketch and I just want to add a little bit of colour to the page. It just lifts the spread. I think maybe you saw in that other sketchbook, or on this sketchbook, I mean, this is kind of a little bit of neon ink. I just like to add a splash of, is that some yellow? I can see some, yeah, here we go. I think that was marker, and then I drew over the top of the marker. Highlighter. Okay, so yeah, highlighters. So if I ever see some spare highlighters, I'll happily take those. Metallic pens have been in, oh my gosh, I feel like, is it? Can you see? Yeah. Metallic pens. I like metallic pens. That's been an interesting, why am I writing on this one? An interesting find. Like, and again, cheap and cheerful, Crayola are fine, and you can then on black paper, on go on top of, what I like about metallic markers is, yeah, you can go on top of other markers, other block colour, and draw on top. Again, do not ask, obviously I assume this is all non-light fast or great if you're, but for a sketchbook, for play, and you could even make prints from it, so that's fine. Okay, Jelly Roll, these are more, so I experimented with cheaper gel pens and it wasn't good, and I feel the only thing with this sort of a pen, I love them, like I did a Mandela workshop and I used them in the Mandela workshop, but I can see you would wear, for me, I used to get writing blisters when when you do the same, I don't think it's great, is it, for any one muscle group if you would completely go too fiddly for too long. So, and I think these are hard to like fill up a large area, but they have their they're great for doodling, for abstract, for adding little bits to a mixed media piece, and they are good quality. I think those, and they last a long time, so I think it's sometimes worth investing. And then I come on to, I'm getting there, onto crayons. Okay, so I feel like within the art community, is there anyone who doesn't like? There probably, of course there is. There's going to be lots of people who probably don't love Neo Colour too. But as I've talked about, I think I've talked about these before, I found them when we lived in Switzerland. They're actually reasonably priced in Switzerland in comparison to some other art materials. And yeah, these are just so great. I mean, I feel like they're really soft, and after compared to, like, obviously they're not Crayola wax crayons, but compared to cheap crayons, you just get such brilliant saturated colours. I feel like they're just so multi-purpose. And also I feel like, there's no plastic. You really do wear them. You can really use, this might be, was that a wax crayon? But you can really use them, sorry, that's not going to focus, you completely use them up. So even though this is a relatively expensive stick, like, there's no wastage. They last a long time. And then, I mean, the brilliant thing about the Neocolor 2 is, as we all know, is then it turns into, it's water soluble. I mean, the sad thing is I don't think I use the fact it's water soluble enough. I don't know why, because it's great. You've got, like, yeah. So I love these. This is my largest set at the moment. Like, I did buy, because this was years ago when we were in Switzerland, like 7, 8 years ago, I had a few other colours. I think I've used them up. So on that's one of my, if I'm good and I use up what I have or give away some stuff, then maybe in the future I will try and get the big set of these, because I think that, and ideally a little bit of discount wouldn't go amiss. Feel that, and do they go off? I can't see how they, some things go off, but can't see how they would go off. Maybe they do. Again, I don't know about constituents, or I can't tell you their properties or their pigment levels. And I'm always very appreciative actually, because sometimes you guys share in the comments the stuff, you know, your knowledge, so that's great. Oh yeah, and I put here Inktense blocks. So I think I got these first, and then what the problem was, they're fine. I struggle a bit with these in terms of, I think I end up just using them as paints now. So I will just come in and like use them as paints. I didn't find that drawing with them, if I'm going to draw with something, and it's water soluble, I think I'm going to draw with the Neo Colour 2 crayon. But so that's why then I was like, but I like the effects, that's when I got the pencils. But these are good, but yeah, so it's in a block. And then what else? Have I come to the end of that? Oh, oil pastels. The pastels I've been a bit put off with because they're so messy and smudgy, and then do I have to fix them? Am I going to have to use like, go outside and find a fixative, like, or, but actually, ironically, thanks to the kids again, I think when we did sort of I did art classes with the kids, and we were using these Pentel oil pastels, and I put these down as my favourite because they're reasonably priced and they're not too soft, so you get a burst of colour. And it doesn't, I don't personally, yeah, there is a bit of smudging, of course, but I don't particularly feel I have to protect the page. I actually just don't love too soft oil pastels, because I just don't know how you protect that work, or even, also for me in terms of, I've got to be honest, sometimes I scan it into my scanner to make prints for companies, and isn't that gonna go all over my scanner bed? I don't know how people turn very heavily drawings with oil pastel into prints. If you are an oil pastel artist and do this, do you photograph it, or let me know, because does the fixative work really well? But this I think I probably could put on my scanner without it causing too much issue. But anyway, so I love these. You get a set of 50, you get a lot of colours. I am a little bit tempted to, just to say, I also do have a set, and I'm sort of running them out, of Gallery. These are Gallery brands, Neo Fluorescent or Neon oil pastels, and these are I'm gonna have to get some more when I run out, because I love neons. If you've seen any of my other videos, like a lot of my still lifes, I always want to stick that bit of brightness in, so I love those. And then that might be it for my favourite art materials in terms of, this section. I just wanted quickly, if you're interested though, I thought this is fun. This is something maybe other artists are doing on YouTube, I don't really see so much of. I see lots of like favourites and art hauls, but what are the things that you don't like? Or things, hold on, what have I got? Things I have but don't love and maybe need to use or give away. So, to be honest, what's your list on this? Do you have any on this one? I put Neo Colour 1, weirdly enough, on this list, because I know some artists love them, and I think the problem, I think I accidentally got these. I think the problem is that, they're like, I guess they can't be reactivated, then I might as well assume they're going to be good for drawing on top of stuff. I need to use these more. There was an hilarious, I don't know if I made it, but maybe I didn't film it, thank goodness, but there's one time when I thought these were Neo Colour 2. I think my husband got me these. And then I was like trying to reactivate them with water, and I was like, have they gone off? What on earth? Like, they're not turning into watercolour. And then I realised they were Neo Colour 1, and that's a different crayon. But I mean, obviously they are superior quality to any other wax crayon, so they are lovely, and I will use them. And I think I'm going to put these on. I talked about in a video moving things around my desk, because I tend to just go for what's on my desk, so I need to have these out so that I'm going to use them. So I'll put them there. Okay, and then I've put to here, I want to, this was another, bless my husband, another gift from my husband years ago, these beautiful soft pastels. And I'm just not a, I don't know, can we, let's have a, where is the paper again? Oh gosh, they're just so smudgy and so much dust, and I don't like, they're a bit too, what's the word? I don't know, it's too, I'm messy. I am a messy, chaotic artist, but they feel like too messy and dusty for me. But here's the big but. Okay, so I went to a art society demonstration, and it was a pastel artist who came in, and she gets through these pastels like nobody's business. I mean, and they are quite expensive, but she loves pastels and was doing amazing botanical floral work. She uses alcohol, and I didn't know about this. This is the thing about sometimes as an artist, like I forget when I think, oh no, I shouldn't share that because everyone knows it, but you know what you know. And I did not know that you could use alcohol with pastels and make it into sort of a paint. So I'm going to do that this year, but I need to get some rubbing alcohol. I assume one can't use, I don't know, other substances, but so I need to get, I don't actually have rubbing alcohol, medical alcohol in the house, so I need to get some. And then the other says put this away, and I got these for an art course when I was doing like life drawing 15, 16, a long time ago, 15, 16 years ago. And I feel like, I don't know why, because I think a lot they're sort of recommended people, and I'd use them for like, they're great for big sort of life drawing, but I don't really know. I mean, they're smudgy, and I'm not sure how to incorporate them. I've been trying to put them into abstracts, and maybe I should have a go again at drawing. Oh, I should have a go at like more looser work, or even drawing portraits and stuff again, because they are quite good for that. But I'm going to try and keep these out and use them. And then if I don't love them, the thing is, we can also, like, I forget about this, because I've actually brought art supplies from charity shops. Like in London, I found a set of pro markers that I've used up, and they were in an Oxfam, and I was like, whoa, you know, it was a good price. I think it was like £3 for someone obviously hadn't wanted them. So like, we can, if I don't love stuff, I should also probably donate it. But I think I will use it, it's just it's hidden away. And then what's the other one? Oh, and then I got a set of, this is all really old things. Like this was like, look, on sale, £14.95, 36 artist watercolour pencils. This is Daler Rownley. It's not Derwent, it's Daler Rownley. And I'm going to show you, I don't know, do any of you guys use, I used to like watercolour pencils. I think for urban, if I was out and about sketching, because then you are meant to, they just, like, jogged it. They just as a pencil don't feel as nice as my Prismacolor. Oh man. Okay, it's not a good idea to, I mean, yeah, you can reactivate them though. So, but then I feel I prefer, if I'm going to have that, I think I'd rather have an Inktense as my sort of water-based pencil now. But, you know, share some tips with me. Maybe I'm using these incorrectly, or I'm sure I can find ways of bringing them into my art practice. Okay, anything else? I'm nearly there, I swear. Oh, and then I want to use up some bottles of ink, and then before I buy more, I've got a book about how to make your own ink from like coffee and vegetables. I've not done that because it involves, sometimes I feel like I'm a, you know, like a lazy cook as it is. I should try more different recipes, and because I love doing art, but I've got enough stuff to use up. But when I have used some of this stuff up, I would like to have a go at making my own ink, and maybe I can take you along with me, though that might be more of a comedy video, because when I try to make art materials or sketchbooks, it's never, I I'm just terrible at following instructions. Okay, Posca. I put Posca here. Okay, my thing with them, but I just can't. I like them a lot, but they are expensive. And yeah, they just didn't seem to work for me as I saw them working for other people. I have used them a bit in some making portraits a little bit more fun and funky. What else have I used them in? They are fun in abstracts as well. I've done whole pages of abstract designs and geometric sort of doodly pages that I've enjoyed them in. But yes, I know some of these artists have these massive chisel ones and they use them for like their landscapes to lay down acrylic colour. I feel with all the sort of the more plastic markers and stuff, like I really want to use them up and see, can anyone tell me, has anyone else refilled them? Because I've seen videos and I think I did have a go at refilling one and it wasn't too bad. Like I think you can refill these with fluid acrylic. I don't actually have fluid acrylics. I've got acrylic ink. Can you fill with acrylic ink? Has anyone done this? Please do, if you have, like share that with me. I've seen, as I say, I've looked up some YouTube videos, so I know, and I know you can. It's a bit of a hassle, like take them apart, and because I don't know, I don't really feel that I love these enough to rebuy new ones, and as I say, I've got plenty of materials. So yeah, just give me your tips there. I'm open to advice. Yeah, so that's it. So oh yes, then I had my quickly, in case you're interested. So if I do achieve using up, or at least giving these, using what I have up, then I would, if I would ever did want to get new stuff and do an art like haul, I would like to try, I think I keep seeing Woody Stabilo. Loads of people have those. I think I've got one of those and they seem quite fun. And I like the fact it's like a wooden pencil. Good quality oil pastels. I really do want to give oil pastels a bit more of a go. So maybe in the future I'd consider that. Caran d'Ache Loom. Oh yeah, like I have only really tried in terms of top quality like Prismacolor pencils, and I do keep seeing all these ones. So this is just being open to, like, if I was thinking about gifts. And Faber-Castell markers as well. I see people using, because they're like meant to be what's the word, light fast, but they look really expensive. I'm not against spending money, by the way, on good quality art materials, because I do think why shouldn't you, if you've saved up? And a lot of us also, you think about people have other hobbies, like they spend out on even baking or golf or sewing equipment, or their cycling is even a fairly expensive, sport hobby. So I do think if it's you're putting the time and effort in, and a lot of other ways. Can I just say, the other thing I sometimes justify this is I cut my own hair, which you probably can tell from my like wonky fringe. So I think those savings that I make in other areas, I do believe art, it's good to make sure that you do have the right materials, have a plentiful supply, but also do look in, this is for me, do look in drawers and just keep an eye on what you've got, because if you sometimes feel like I forget that I've got certain supplies and then I don't know why, I'd be like, why have I just bought another set of pencils when I've got this set of pencils? And yeah, so anyway, I don't know if this is helpful, but yeah, thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in another video. I think I've got couple more parts of my materials planned. I'd like to do the rest of paints, that'd be like watercolours and acrylics, and then I'd like to talk about my favourite sort of sketchbook brands and paper I use. Yes, and hopefully this will also be a good resource on my channel for when people are like, they say, oh, what are you using? I can say, well, if you want, check out these videos on materials. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.